Oh, wow.
Well put. Well put. Welcome to Requiem for a Tuesday, ladies and germs. This is Adam Pecora here with Justice.
Howdy doody.
And the moment is upon us. 2 shows defining an era.
This is a big deal.
This is the biggest.
A big deal.
This is a huge episode, a huge moment in culture.
Almost canceled all our Memorial Day plans just to really dish this one out.
Had to set these as Memorial Day plans. That's right. This was appointment viewing television. Refreshed the newly named Max app right at 8 p.m. and dove right in.
Yep. I was a little delayed.
Naturally.
Yeah. But I still, it was a fucking priority.
I knew
man.
there was a chance you watched Barry this morning.
No, it was reverse. I got home last night at about 9 o'clock, and I said, we need to watch Barry first. And
yeah,
then,
you're
and
more
then
of
we
a
did
Barry
Succession.
guy than a Succession
Really,
guy.
really am.
I'm way more of a Succession guy, especially now. But first, also, rate, review, and subscribe to Requiem for a Tuesday on Apple, Spotify, and whatever else you may listen to these thingies on. There's a YouTube channel with some extra things on it. We got Multiplex, All False Noise, just re-released.
Google.
Going great. Google's great.
You can Google by Multiplex, and guess what? It shows up.
Stream it all, baby. Everything is everywhere, all at once.
That movie sucks.
Apple, Spotify. Yeah, really. What a buzzkill.
These are better.
Yeah. Yeah,
Incomparably.
Give me the Carl, Frank, and Hugo movie spinoff of Succession.
Oh, my God. I metabolize fast. Dude, I'm so glad that Carolina pulled her Shiv aside and was like, can we fuck that guy, please? Because I'm
Hugo's
so
awesome.
sick of him.
I love Hugo.
He's just like, ugh. So like, wait, what was the other show that he was in too recently? I just always thought he had such a good character that I always wanted to see get necked.
I don't know, but I know that he was in the original Super Mario Brothers movie. I watched that recently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like one of Koopa's
henchmen.
Yeah.
That totally fits so well. Wow.
Good old Fisher Stevens.
So which, I know this is a show where most notes are internalized while you watch. So which one should we do first since we watched it different? Like I watched Barry first, you watched
What would you like to do?
Honestly, Succession.
Let's do it. What are your thoughts, bud?
Fucking go Tom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't be more excited for the outcome of this episode. Like to see, I'm glad it's done. I think 4 seasons was a great amount.
Yeah.
I don't think
was
we
not
need
sustainable.
more. No, because everything's so volatile all the time with these characters. But fucking Tom was the most consistent and also my favorite to watch all the time. He was never in it just to be the winner. You know?
He was, but that's the thing. He was never in it as the like, I'm the shit. I have this vision. Like I'm the power guy.
We never.
He's like, no. Like, use me however you want, baby. I'm just trying to rise
The
these
whole
ranks. Like,
time.
I'll do whatever anybody above me needs at any moment. Whereas everybody else is trying to like combat everything and like win.
Yeah. He's not
trying to
succeed.
succeed.
Yeah.
They're trying to win.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yes. And that is bouncing. I didn't listen to the whole episode, but the Ringers finale episode just came out before I got here, and so
I was listening to it as well.
Yeah, like there was never to that point. Like there was never going to be a winner, because all of it sucks.
Right.
Either way.
I think I guessed it last week. I have to listen back to my app, but I'm pretty sure I was like that it'll be a Tom Greg combo with Shiv.
Well, honestly,
Not Greg, you know what I mean? That Greg would still kind of come out on top. I love that they added that scene where he's like, I got you, baby. Don't worry. I was like, yes.
So I don't think that we ever saw Tom, like, get validated by anybody until Mattson was like, you're fucking good at your job.
Right.
That's it. That's what matters most.
Right.
You know, and I was like, fuck yeah. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
He's the only one who has a job, technically.
Exactly. And he fucked up ATN for the better, which was the biggest move that he could have done before this all went down, you know?
Right.
It outside of him taking, like, really being by Logan, and they, like, all the kids are like, he's trying to fuck me by being with my dad. Like, no, like, that was not the biggest move. I think business-wise.
He's trying to move his career along.
For sure.
Right.
Couldn't be more stoked. I love Greg, but he didn't care what happened either way, you know?
Well, no, that's why he tried to play both sides at the end, and it blew up in his face, but it didn't matter.
But it didn't, though.
Because nothing actually matters. That's the whole thing. Everybody has done this to everybody the whole time, though.
No, I think that, like, real sees real in the sense where, you know, Greg might have technically been a part of the family, but he had a job, and he was fucking good at it, and I think that Tom saw that. That's why he didn't shaft him at the end.
No, it's just because they're boys.
It's
just because they fucking love each other.
Because they got their shit done really well.
He recognized... No, Greg's not good at his job. He just
recognizes... I think he's good at his job.
He just recognizes that Greg is the same kind of worm that he is. That, like, he'll do the dirty shit.
Yeah.
He's not good at his job, though. Come on.
I think he was.
Greg doesn't do any work.
When he was made to...
Greg's just like a spy who... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a mole for people.
I really thought that
That's not his job, though. You know what I mean? Technically, his job is that he's Tom's assistant.
Not in this episode, but when Shiv tried to, like, fuck up Greg and be like, don't say anything or I'll kill you, you know? I thought for a minute that he was going to break and we were going to see that character, like, Greg's character, like, really wobble.
No, he's a thug.
But he came back so much harder.
He's a goon.
He came back so strong.
Yeah.
All the way to the finish line, man.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
He should be in charge of their casinos for sure.
This is why, because it didn't matter what happened because they still won. So it's like, yeah, he leaked a little info that was going to leak anyway.
But it needed to happen, you know?
Right.
For them to
basically
implode.
Yeah.
You know, like they were going to fuck the deal themselves from the get-go.
It was also funny that all of a sudden they're like, where'd you get this info? And they're like, Greg, so it's solid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that
they're
makes
like,
sense.
Oh shit, Greg told you? Like instantly even the siblings are all of a sudden like, oh, now Greg's legit.
Yeah.
So I think that's another factor. It's like everybody realizes that he does actually kind of have value.
Yeah.
Because even Mattson did. Remember when he pitched him? He's like, yeah, dude, I fucking fired everybody. It was sweet. And Mattson's like, damn, you're pretty fucked up. You know, and then they hung out and shit.
Oh, I actually vaguely remember that scene where when Mattson said that to Greg.
Yeah.
But I definitely felt that at the end.
I'm just saying, it's bygones be bygones, man.
But also Tom was like, Mattson fucking hates you.
But he doesn't.
Okay. I thought that was weird.
Well, he does. I mean, he was pissed. But you know what I mean? It's not how this world ever operates. I mean, literally everybody has fucked everybody over the whole time and they still just like go to dinner together and shit. You know what I mean? Like they're all just making plays.
Two of my favorite like visuals of that whole finale episode. Number one, Mattson's suit at the end. I love that turtleneck.
Yeah.
Like blazer vibe. Looks great. I would love to do that.
Everything looks great on him, to be fair.
It's so true.
But,
he's wearing half a shirt, and you're like, he looks so cool.
Yeah.
But I hate it, but he looks cool.
He can rock sweatpants like a motherfucker.
That's a whole, yeah. That's his vibe, though. He's like, he only wore the suit on the important day, I think.
Of course.
Like, I think the rest of his fits
for
were
the photo op.
Yeah. He was stoked on the fucking photo op. That's the most I've seen him, like, smile.
Absolutely.
He was like, gee, I'm Jesus. It's like, oh, okay, dude, chill.
That's victory.
I think that's why I don't want to see anything after this, like, in their universe, you know? Because I don't want to see how much of an asshole he really is for running the company.
That wouldn't be the continuation of the show.
You
that
think
character's over.
Right on.
If they're done. Yeah.
You think it would be Tom and Greg? Just by the ratings?
I mean,
everybody loves them.
I mean, why would the continuation of the show? I mean, maybe he'd be in it a little bit. it's about the kids either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
who's your least favored kid of the three?
Shiv. She's the
or
worst.
Of the four.
All she had to do.
She is the fucking worst.
All she had to do was come up with what she came up with while they were together and said, "Hey, I'm not on board."
Yeah.
Instead of saying, "Hey, at the last minute, all right, we're all picking Kendall. We're all in agreement."
Yeah.
And then running out of a board meeting like a child.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And it was the right decision.
Yes.
Because, come on.
Yeah.
But the way to go about that's so fucked up. And, I mean, that was the beauty of the finale, is that they all acted like 8-year-olds the entire episode. Like, including when they're making this dumb smoothie thing and literally acting like children. Because they then start wrestling and screaming at each other in a corporate office in the middle of voting through
like $1 billion deal.
$100 billion
$100 billion deal.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that was absurd.
They're fighting like they're in the 5th grade.
Absurd.
It's hilarious, but it was great.
You can say
it shows that it's the right call right there. It's like, yeah, he's supposed to be the CEO. He's in there throwing a tantrum.
Dude.
Because he can't get his way. And then he's also like, I'm the oldest child. And she's
like, the eldest boy. I'm the eldest boy. Dude, shut up.
And then Shiv's even like, yeah, but you're not.
Yeah.
Like, everybody just still, still Connor. Every time it's still Connor. So, yeah, it was perfect.
I would have expected Connor to be more involved, but I get why he wasn't. Like, I understand.
Well, because he literally wasn't in the company.
Right.
Already.
Well, he was trying. I feel like he tried to insert himself a couple times, and it just didn't work.
In like the 1st and 2nd season a little bit, yeah.
Right. But
ever since he's been running for president, that's just been his thing. So he wouldn't immediately just become the CEO out of nowhere. That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Tom and Kendall were the only options that could have even been viable within the characters that are like within the family. Otherwise, it would have just been like fucking Frank, and that's stupid.
I don't really think that Tom likes Shiv as much as like my girlfriend thinks, like, or Hannah thinks that she's like, well, Tom really loves Shiv at the end of the day. I'm like, I still don't really think so.
No.
I don't think so at all. Like, especially at that, like,
he loves what her status brings him.
Exactly. And what it got him at the end of this. Like, I don't think that they're gonna be like business partners now. They're not gonna like hang out and like love each other now.
Yeah, it's gonna be Logan and Marsha.
That was, and like, by the way they held hands, that's what that told me too. And the whole like, I want a real relationship, and he's like, I don't know. I don't think that
Yeah.
Basically, I don't think that you can have a real relationship, and you're trying to fuck me. I think. Like, I think that that's what that whole thing was.
No, well, what that was is that Tom finally has the power.
Oh, true.
Which is what Shiv wants, though, and just realized.
At the very end, yeah.
Yeah, the whole time she thought she wanted to be in control of Tom, so anytime Tom made a power play, she would make another one back, so she could be, running him.
Yes.
But she's finally just accepting,
lost it. Yeah.
oh, the women always lose. Like, I have to just accept that he's in power.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what that was. She, like, submitted, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty brutal, but she's still... Well, like I said, you just didn't have to fuck over your brother in that exact way. You could have he could have gone in knowing you were still on the other team.
Yeah, that's the whole, that fucking pisses me off. It doesn't
it just makes the show more dramatic, and it allows them to have that scene. But
for sake of drama, it all was great, but god damn, man, if I had to deal with that, like, that's the way I look at it.
But that's the way to fully break Kendall. Is for him to be literally that close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And to lose it like that.
Oh, God.
And now have no option.
I thought he was going to really try to jump into the water, honestly.
See, I assume that most people's assumption would be that when he got in that elevator, he was going up to the roof to jump off.
Yep,
that's the thing. Yep. It's not that kind of show.
It's not, because I think that he is, I don't think that he's like too self-interested. I think it's just in him to not want to actually do that. He's gotten to every other point in his life on the verge of what felt like the end of his life that he's not actually going to do it now, you know?
No, because he's still like, he's a coward.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
But I mean, not that that's the cowardly move. I think that he's just like so far broken at that point, like when he was that close to
Well, because if he
wanted.
did kill himself, who would care? That's the truth. Like the thing is that he did end up just like his dad, just without the company. That's why it showed him walking through the park like it showed Logan on his last time alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're alone.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he lost everything, whereas Logan at least had the company.
Uh-huh.
But what's the company worth? Nothing. It doesn't matter. That's the thing. You end up alone either way. Mm-hmm. If you act the way that both of them act. So it's a very interesting parallel. Like technically they both were losers. Logan died alone. Kendall is now alone. It's the same shit.
My first favorite visual was that, good suit at the end, but my second one was that house that Roman ends up being at. I don't think have we seen that house before?
What house?
The house in wherever it was with all the palm trees and shit.
No, they talked about this in the episode before. The mom was doing some like family retreat. They said it was like Costa Rica or Barbados or something like that.
Right. And yeah. So I thought that was.
It seemed like the
really
mom
pretty.
owns that house. I mean, they probably own like 100 houses.
I think that's one of their houses, and I just don't think that we had seen it, and it's super cool.
I don't think any of the international things were repeats ever.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think pretty much just like Logan's apartment and like the offices are the only repeat sets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait. I guess they go back to.
They just had to do that.
They go back to Madsen's like home base like 2 or 3 times, right?
I guess, yeah.
The third time was when Logan died on the way there. It would have been that other time.
I mean, they were just like, yeah, it's the series finale, so let's just write in one more luxurious trip.
Yep.
Why not?
So
I thought it was great. Perfect.
I'm not gonna give it a rating. I loved this ending. I really did. I thought it was super fun.
Riveting. I was on the edge of my seat.
I'm a disgusting brother to the end.
Absolutely, they're the best.
They are the best. It was so fun.
They're the fucking best. And then they have that little fight in the bathroom, and Greg smacks him in the face.
Smacks the shit out of him. I'm like, yes.
And I'm glad. As long as it worked out for Greg, that would be all I wanted. And the show owed us that. It did. It owed us a happy ending for Greg.
Yes.
But they teased it like it wouldn't, which I appreciated.
I loved being on the edge of my seat for Greg,
They threw in that fucking jab.
I wonder what he kept, like what he stickered, because he had a thing of stickers. I wonder what he kept, like some spoons. He was like, I don't want to take too much because like I know somebody else wants it, or maybe he stickered a bunch of shit,
Greg's probably only taking like artwork that'll get him laid.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean?
True. He got all the art.
He's like any like silk bedding.
He's like, I'm going to get the stuff that nobody here sees value in.
Right, exactly. Like anything that anybody had previously used, nobody would want. Except Greg. He's thrifty. He's like, this is like
thriftiest of all.
This is like $1,000 blanket. I'm gonna take this shit.
He's on the phone like with his mom in the other room. Should I take this one? Should I take this one? I don't know which one I should take. She's like, just take all of them. Nobody's gonna use them. He's like, oh yeah.
It was silly that he leaked to Kendall though. He didn't really need to. He would have been fine either way.
I think that they played it so well because they fucking destroyed each other.
What doesn't matter is just like, let's say they vote Kendall in. Why would they still fire Tom? They still wouldn't fire Tom, so they just still wouldn't fire Greg. You know what I mean? Like, he just got really greedy in the moment and wanted like an extra boost, but like,
yeah,
he didn't need to. He literally had played both sides so well that like he was good either way. Whatever. It didn't matter. It all worked out. But
the only reason why that information got out, I think, was on a personal note to Shiv, and that's why it got out. Because I get leaking it to Kendall was the wrong move. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he didn't tell him that it was Tom because he didn't know it was Tom. So he technically didn't even like really reveal the actual dagger.
Until Tom told Shiv.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, it was interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
no consequence really.
They found out in two different fashions, like who was going to be Matsson's choice for a CEO, but the combined fury of those two leaks fucking imploded that side, like that team. And also,
I mean, Roman was out either way.
Yes.
He was just like, I'll just do whatever we all agree on.
But
that's been his thing the whole time. He's like, can we just get this over with?
He also was not like back and forth on this because he hates Matsson,
But I don't think he does. I think he just isn't fit to do it. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. And I think he finally realized all that too. He's like,
we're bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, none of this is like appropriate. We don't know what we're doing. He's like, I've just been playing like a character this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your take on walking out into the protesters and then it being leverage at the meeting? Is that what that was supposed to be?
What do you mean leverage?
Like, oh, I'm all beat up. So no, I don't understand like why he did that, And then it kind of like that whole hug at the end, he's like, my scars are too perfect. And he's like, let me fuck them up by giving you a really hard hug. It's like, what? What? Is that what that was?
It was like a power play because like Logan abused him and stuff. And he was like, dude, you're not going to fucking call it in. You're going to show up to the meeting. Like, be a man.
Yeah.
It's the thing Logan always did. Like, use affection to lure him in and then hit him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. That shit was... I don't know. It was goofy. But Kieran Culkin, you got a lot of fucking head veins. The top of your head looks like a really veiny dick.
It does.
And it was funny for a second. I laughed a little bit. Even though I know you're not supposed to. It was funny to me. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't think it was that funny.
I thought it was kind of funny.
It's a very tragic ending.
I thought he was going to like beat the shit out of him.
Here's the thing. It's not like a pantheon like, wow, they ended it in such an epic, legendary way. It's just like, again, it's just not that type of show. I think like for what the show is, that was the perfect way to end it. There's just like an unfortunate expectation for it to be like, wow, I want it to have like a hammer home impact moment.
I think,
and it kind of did. I mean, Kendall fucking losing at the end was a fast-paced twist.
It was a triumphant fall too.
Right.
I felt like for a long time.
Well, when
he was going to win.
When he was like, "No, I didn't kill the kid."
Yeah, what the fuck?
And he's like, "I'm gonna pitch again. Like, I'm gonna try to sell you guys one more time." And they're like, "Dude, you're pathetic." Like, we respected that you opened up about that, and now you're gonna act like that wasn't real. And it's like, even if you're telling the truth now, then you were lying then. So no matter what, just fuck you.
Exactly.
Like, you're desperate and embarrassing.
I did.
And the thing is, they all felt
embarrassment,
all of this way about each other the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was their way of banding together until it was like, well, no, we were all pieces of shit either way.
Yeah. Why did we think this was about us?
I didn't think that it needed like you were just saying, like some crazy grand exaggerated ending either.
Yeah.
I think that it was so suitable.
Right.
Really good.
It also it left plenty of things open-ended to where like you just have to like sit and stew on all that shit.
I don't know how many times I've been here to talk about each episode, but it just had that same feeling throughout the show, like what you would expect to be the most dramatic thing of that incident is never what you're focused on when it's happening. You know? And that kind of happened because Shiv stormed out. And we didn't actually see the decision made at the meeting. Kendall came in.
Yeah, right. They didn't.
And
show
they were
the
like,
vote.
"No, it's done, dude. Like, go home. Like
Yeah.
it's done. And like that's why the show is super good, honestly, and that's why to the end it was great.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, and I
what
slept on it for a while. I binged the whole 3 seasons. I only watched this one in live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I got in after season 1.
I just watched them like last year.
I had to binge season 1 to start season 2, I believe.
I spaced it out, because I think I knew the date that it was starting to air, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I have it done. So I did like 1 and 2 in like a couple weeks, and then I did 3 or something, and it was so worth it for sure. What a great time.
Beautiful show.
I hope that Max.
I'm gonna run it back.
I hope that Max continues to give us quality shows. I think the HBO drop
is still a thing.
I know. I just think that
it has nothing to do with anything.
I just hope that it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't.
Okay, I'm just saying.
HBO is still a thing.
I don't like the blue. I'm not a fan. I like the purple.
Well, did you see though they added everything from like Travel Channel and shit, so all the Anthony Bourdain stuff's back.
Ooh, that's super fun.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, see, you don't even understand why it changed.
I'm not saying I understand. I'm just saying
it's because of the Warner Discovery merger.
Right on. When did that happen?
Like recently.
Okay.
So they had to add all of the... So Discovery Plus used to be a service, and it's like, why?
I had it.
Well, they merged it now with HBO Max, but being called HBO Max doesn't make sense if it has all that stuff, so they're just calling it Max.
Nice. HBO
is simply just one of the many channels on it now instead of being like half.
The future of cable TV.
Was that supposed to be an ad?
No. It's like the future of rock and roll from Rain Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not a big Rain Man guy. I think it's overrated.
Yeah, I get it. I love Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman.
I mean, Tom Cruise is just a prick in that movie.
He is. He's such an asshole.
And then Rain Man is unbearable half the time.
No, he's fun. It's a good...
He's fun some of the time.
It's a good time. He's got a lot of one-liners, honestly.
Yeah, like one-liners are good, but
yeah, that's why it's fun. It's not. I don't like. I'm not critically analyzing Rain Man. That's the truth. I'll put it on and be like,
well, it was like an Oscar contender. So that's how you have to look at it.
Right on.
It wasn't like it's not like some B movie comedy. It's a serious drama film.
Yeah, I think
that was taken seriously by people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm taking it that way.
Anyway,
I'm not like
Max is the future of cable TV. It's like the same thing again. We're doing it all over, but on the internet. It'll be fun. Throw more shit on there. I won't watch it, but I'll try. I'll watch the Bourdain stuff. If
there's problems with the audio syncing right now, so hopefully they fix that.
Right on. They got a lot of people to figure that out. They got more people.
Well,
now,
I think
right?
it's just a formatting issue with like older shows like that.
Oh, I understand. The subtitles. If you would,
I don't
just
watch
audio.
I don't watch television shows with subtitles because
None?
that's not
Never.
how it works. No. If it's in another language, yeah.
I think I just chipped my tooth.
Good. I hope you did.
I watch the subtitles all the time. With Succession, watched them the whole time with subtitles.
That's stupid.
I get it. Maybe one time I'll watch
Would
them
you
without.
go to a movie with English subtitles at the theater?
Fuck no.
Well,
I get it. It's different for you. I'm saying I like subtitles.
Just turn the volume up if you can't hear it, if that's the issue. Like, I just don't understand the point.
If I have headphones in and I watch a movie, I don't use subtitles. Because I can hear the whole thing. It's
Who
nice.
watches a movie with headphones on?
On the plane, fucking...
That's fair.
In the studio, I don't know.
In the studio?
Yeah, I'm making music, but also I want to watch a movie, so it's on another screen, and I have headphones on.
So how are you hearing the music you're making?
Monitors. They're loud monitors.
That's psychotic.
Outside of the film.
That's psychotic. It would make more sense to do that the other way around.
Yeah, I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Insanity.
But I'm saying in the context of subtitles, they're off if they got headphones in the studio.
Understood.
I'm not saying that's how I watch movies all the time in the studio if I'm doing music and a movie, but It has happened.
Music in a movie, yeah.
Music, movie, and
all you do is come
hot dog.
on this show and reveal how you disrespect cinema and films constantly.
Subtitles on for Succession. Yeah.
You watch movies while making music. You go into theaters for 7-minute snippets of movies, and then you never watch them again.
Don't say that, dude. AMC is going to target me because they listen to this show probably, just like Paramount.
You got by Paramount?
Yeah, they won't let me rent Paddington.
That's not true. I just proved that wrong to you. Paddington rips. We'll get to that, ladies and gentlemen.
Next
Don't you
week.
Worry. I got Justin. Justin. You're Justin now.
That's fine.
I got Justin over here.
I'll be what you want.
On assignment for Paddington and Paddington 2.
On assignment. I got homework. Do your fucking homework.
You should also watch Dungeons and Dragons if you got time.
Did you see that in theaters?
No, I watched it here yesterday.
On what?
It's rentable on YouTube, and it was on sale for $5.99 instead of like $20.
Sick.
Pretty good.
Wait, what? Chris Pine, right?
Chris Pine. Love Chris Pine. My guy, Chris Pine. James Tiberius Kirk.
Really slappable face.
I disagree.
You don't think that he could get a good, he could be in a boxing movie?
No.
Get the shit beat out of him?
No.
Too pretty, huh?
Yeah. You ever see Unstoppable?
No.
It's him and Denzel trying to stop a runaway train. It was Tony Scott's last movie.
That's fucking sick.
It's great.
Chris Pine and Denzel, that's a good.
Isn't it?
I would love that.
I think it is. Great movie. Yeah. A lot of fun.
So on the
action-packed.
topic of fucking action-packed, let's segue.
You want to talk Barry?
Fucking, I got some words.
So do I. Didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Thank you. Yes.
Didn't like it.
Fucking why?
Why did they jump forward in time for no reason? It made no sense.
Yes.
What a waste of a season.
Dude.
After season 3, what a disaster.
Dude.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. Too fast.
I will say this was
like
probably
action-packed, but only the timeline.
This was probably the funniest episode of this season, though, I think.
I agree.
They finally brought back the comedy.
I agree.
They went so heavy with so much drama and then didn't fucking back it up. I don't know, man. They went way too off the rails.
Could you believe
Bill
it?
Hader basically just really wanted him to have a kid and fucked up the entire show just so they could have a kid.
I don't think that he was that religious where he needed to say a fucking prayer before he went out there. I think that was fucking poor.
No,
like
that's
that.
new Barry. That made sense.
I don't think that he was that new.
On.
He went all the way back to L.A. to kill the guy from years ago, so he hasn't fucking changed. He didn't need to say a prayer.
True.
I thought that was fucking weak.
That's
I think
true.
that's weak.
The whole thing was supposed to be fake, like that he was just an idiot reciting things that he heard.
Yes, that was the whole vibe.
He did seem pretty genuine about it.
He seemed too genuine about it. Like, he's not that... yes, I get it.
Well, also, I mean, here's the simple fact, right? Barry is a trained Marine killer assassin, and he doesn't notice Gene Cousineau pop out of a room with a pistol.
Dude.
He's just standing there.
Dude.
Also, like I just mentioned, he's that psycho crazy killer guy. He just bursts into the house and starts talking to that other guy.
He's like, who the fuck are you? It's like...
He doesn't run around and look like he's done in every other moment throughout the series. No, I'll just stand here and talk to this guy reasonably all of a sudden, even though I just went to Target and bought every gun they have, which was hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, so you're just going to get distracted by Gene Cousineau's lawyer friend guy? And that's how you're going to get murdered by Gene Like, come on. Come on.
Maybe
I also thought I never bought that Moss would just be like, oh, now I solved it. Cousineau was just playing me the whole time. It's like, what? You think that he has that thinly veiled reasoning?
This like heavy
listen,
interrogator. Like, he's not going to also be able to completely unhinge all of the research just by a couple interrogations.
This is my problem with why they went too serious with it, because this is the type of reveal that would have worked in like season 2 when it was still way more comedic, and it's just like, oh my god, they're really gonna pin this on Gene. The problem is that they played it so deadly serious And it's just like, well, if Moss is the guy you're saying he is, then he wouldn't have fallen for this. Like, yes, it's technically the story that everybody said, that, like, Barry would do anything Kusuno told him and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also all the other stories of all the other people Barry killed that they found out about. You know? Like, Moss knew all that shit already. So why would Kusuno... Oh, Kusuno manipulated him just to kill Janice, so he goes to jail for that, but Barry can just walk for the rest. It just doesn't make sense. Like, you wouldn't tie... Oh, he gave him $250K. So that's the reason. It's like, come on. Barry was clearly a killer, and you guys all knew that, and it was solved, and it's a reach. It was a reach.
It was a reach in the way that it ended up being turned on Gene, and it was a reach in the way that Barry was just going to be able to walk no matter what. Like, that was really silly, honestly.
Well, that would have been funny. That's the thing. He should have just survived.
But it would have been funny
killed by Gene
years ago. Like you said, like if they had still had the comedic beat of those past seasons, it would feel a lot different. But because of how serious and jumping in the time we were,
the jump in the timeline accomplished nothing.
I don't think because they ended.
It could have been 6 months later, and Sally could have just been pregnant, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's an infant, but just jump 8 years for no reason. But then all of a sudden, the second, you know what I mean? Like
the second jump. You're talking about the second jump, like when they jump even farther and he watches the movie and shit.
Yeah.
I think that was awful. Like it was funny to see.
It was a clever way to say, "Oh, this is what happened next."
Yeah. Yeah.
But even the kid watching the movie, there's a scene that happens where he's in it that we just watched, and he doesn't react in any way of like, well, that's not what happened.
Right. I think that it was supposed to be gathered that like that little part that he was a part of was almost the same as what happened.
But Barry didn't come in and shoot everybody up and save him. That's not what happened.
Well,
Fuchs just walked him to the parking lot and Barry was there. That's all that happened.
From my understanding, it was like, yeah, he wasn't there, but he didn't react to it at all because in his head, all of that trauma probably was just in one where there was a lot of gunfire. His eyes were probably closed for a lot of it. And then his dad was in front of him. Like, that's what it felt like.
Oh, that's fair, I guess.
That's not really saying... I still think that it's just like, that didn't happen at all, so it's silly. You know,
that's the joke, though.
The
joke is that Barry was a hero in everybody's eyes in the end, even though the whole show has been about how he's a monster. But
right.
Yeah, I just didn't do it for me at all. And like just a random choice for like the fake movie Kusuno.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was.
Why is he some British guy?
Is this supposed to be like an A-list movie too? Like this is like the blockbuster, the latest blockbuster.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think because Daniel Day-Lewis isn't Gene Cousineau, it didn't go the way that they wanted, and they didn't get the right funding. And it's like
because the movie was supposed to be about how Barry's the monster. So once the truth came out, it probably just turned into like a straight to DVD movie or something.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. Okay.
But because that's why he's like, we're finally gonna watch it. Yeah. You know, so it had been out for sure.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah. And then like Sally, oh cool, she's an acting teacher at a high school. How's she qualified to do that? How'd she all of a sudden get to work at a high school?
Yeah.
Just because you were an actor doesn't mean you're a teacher like that, like a literal school teacher. You can be an acting teacher like Gene Cousineau and have a business.
Yeah. But working at a school?
Who, after she literally admits to murdering people?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, we're supposed to feel good about Sally. She was a drunk horror. She was, you know what I mean? Like,
not something that I really thought about when it was happening.
Now that Barry's gone, she's just a happy girl. Her life's now great. Like, she was a miserable, dark person the whole time.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Oh, but the bond with her son, now that Barry's gone, it's like, that doesn't make any sense. She could have had a bond with her kid the whole time. Instead, she was drunk.
Right. I think it was supposed to be like at the end of that, too, when they were in L.A., when they were back, like, they went through, like...
I get it.
A whole trip.
Oh, I appreciate it all now. But
yes. I think that was the idea.
And that's what it would be?
Yeah.
All of a sudden she learns from something instead of being traumatized? No.
Or like even reverting back to yourself. It just doesn't seem like that's
the whole
true
show
to that
is about how exactly
everybody's basically doesn't change because of all these horrible things.
Correct. Even Hank. Hank's the only one who has an appropriate ending. He can't face the fact that he killed Cristobal.
Yeah.
And he dies with that pain.
Yeah.
And it was the only fitting ending for anyone in the show.
And I'm very sad that it happened that fast because he was one of my favorite characters. So for him to die off
he was supposed to die at the beginning of the... He's supposed to die at the end of the first season. Or episode even, maybe.
Right on. I mean, like, so he was my favorite character. I just think, like, the way that all went down, I wish it just happened a little later in the episode. And I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. I don't know. I would have seen... I would love...
There was only, like, 10 more minutes after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was pretty clear what they were doing throughout the episode, too. They were like, let every actor get their moment. So everybody had a close-up and, like, a monologue moment.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Like, Sally's was good. Fuchs's was pretty good. Although, you know...
How do you...
he just gets away, like...
I don't like that. I really don't. I think it was silly. That was... I was laughing the whole time at that.
The moment with... him and Barry, I think, happened as it would have happened. Because they've been doing that the whole show, coming at each other and then just being like, I love you, never mind, and then coming back, like going back and forth. And I think that seeing the kid and all that, that all made sense too, but the fact that that's his ending, he just runs into the shadows, and it's like, that's the guy. Because the thing is, he was never a mastermind guy either. He was a joke too, but now he is like this criminal, legitimate, like...
has really good forethought. It's like, what?
All he did was go to prison.
Yeah, what? Well, you
don't
and
come
getting
out,
the shit kicked out of you every day would make you probably a little desensitized to all of it.
But
right?
that doesn't... If you got the shit kicked out of you so much, how did you then rise to become this, like... You know what I mean? Where everybody's now underneath you, but all you did was do that within prison. So when you get out of prison, you wouldn't be this, like...
You wouldn't
crime
have the
lord.
status.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up.
You ain't got the time if you're getting the shit kicked out of you to rise to the occasion.
And you're obviously not like killing people in jail because you wouldn't get out. So like you're not doing anything. You know what I mean? It's just none of it adds up. And that's why you don't jump 8 years ahead unless you think about all these little strands. Or
they tried.
Or you keep your fucking high comedy tone and then it doesn't matter because it's just played for laughs. But if you go high drama, I have to scrutinize it. Because you're telling me I need to take it seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Like they spent a lot of this season on the serious tone. That's like I think that's important. I didn't think about that.
And it had been slowly shifting, and there'd always been moments of it.
Yes.
And that was always a really stark contrast, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
But it kind of just went away from being that funny to me. Like there started just being like little one-liners here or there, or like little sight gags.
Yeah.
But like it became like the comedy was hidden within the show.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to just be funny.
That's not okay. As much as I think that this ending was not good, I enjoyed it.
The episode was entertaining.
It was really good.
100%.
I think the show is highly rewatchable in my opinion, but that might be.
But the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, the fourth is going to be hard.
This is what I was saying. As I was doing the recaps, the last 2 episodes for me, I was like, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
This isn't working for me anymore.
That really, really dragged out, like, when they're just there, when he's like, I just wanted to, like, slow... When Bill Hader said, he's like, I just wanted to slow the show down a little bit, you know. That whole thing was when I was like, this is
like, okay,
going bad.
Why did we spend a whole episode with them in their house watching how miserable they are? And then, what did that do for where we ended up? Nothing.
Yeah.
Because all of those dynamics were completely different. It didn't make sense that Sally would fly out to L.A. in the first place.
Other than the one reasoning that what made sense was that she was just so afraid to be by herself, you know, and because of that whole thing happening.
But she would go to Jean's, who Barry's trying to kill.
Very weird.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. I was like, why is she gonna go there? You know.
So she can have her kid watch? Like, I don't understand. She's trying to warn Jean. What's that gonna do?
Right. Nothing.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
There was.
Also, like, she was just fine after the shooting thing at the company, but she couldn't just get up, and also Barry doesn't just go get her.
I think it's supposed to be that she goes and gets her because they wake up, they sleep the night at wherever
Yeah, he
they
probably
were
just
at.
puts the kid in the car.
Yeah,
and
they
goes
just
back.
skipped all that, which was fine, but it was definitely like weird at first. I was like, why didn't we see them like meet up? I guess it wasn't important.
Okay, and then also she's like, you have to turn yourself in. Why? Why does he?
Right.
Like now he does. 8 years on the run, but you got kidnapped this one time, so now he's got to turn himself in. Now you're this morally great. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, what is that? Oh, and then she just leaves.
And how?
Like, now she just leaves. Get away? But Barry went to LA and left you with the kid alone. You could have just left then and went, and then nobody would know where you are.
Right.
But instead you went to where he was to then leave him. It doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. It really
it didn't
jarring.
Didn't work.
It was a jarring finale.
Didn't work.
And that's why we do it second, because I just think that, I didn't enjoy. I was like, oh, I didn't like that. Yeah, at the end. I was like, damn. I'm like, what we could have gone. I feel like it could have gone.
All he says is wow, too.
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny. That was just funny.
A little.
That was just like right on. There's probably some reference,
what I'm
old.
I'm supposed to believe that Gene Cousineau spent his 8 years away, like working on marksmanship. For the moment he saw Barry, like it's fucking Laurie Strode in the new Halloween. Like, yeah, she's been spending all of her time away rebuilding her house into a Michael Myers trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Gene Cousineau's been doing.
Yeah. That's
like,
true. He was
on.
A piss poor shot at the beginning, for sure.
And now all of a sudden he has supreme confidence, doesn't get nervous, can walk up in dead silence, be unnoticed, and cap him dead in the heart and then dead in the head.
Yeah.
Effortlessly.
With Rip Torn's gun.
With the other guy standing in front of him also.
Yes.
How'd that angle work out?
Yeah.
Like, clearly Barry's vision would have had to be blocked by somebody else. So how does a gun then shoot him in the chest? It doesn't make any sense. I didn't fuck with that at all.
Maybe in my head, as that was happening, I was like, okay, he might not.
He has all the awareness.
He's off his game, maybe because he's a broken man now looking for his wife and kid again. But he's also been looking for them, or he's been trying to get them back since he got to LA. So why would he be broken at that point?
But when he's broken historically in the show, he does better.
Oh, that's
true.
Think
about when he raids that whole building and kills 45 people at the end of the first season.
Right.
Like, because he lost everything in his mind, and he was and he just wandered in there and just fucked everything up.
Oh, that's right.
That's the thing. This guy's supposed to be this like tactical mastermind.
Right. He does just get dumber and dumber, it seems like, and that's like so silly to me. I just don't think that would have happened.
It wasn't consistent. Yeah, all of a sudden.
That furrowed brow
the fact
just
that
ain't
he
that
became
fast.
like that stupid too, though.
Right.
I just don't get it.
Like, I don't think that would have happened in a trained killer, but maybe, he got some.
I mean, it
something
was
going on.
It was like technically what he always wanted, I guess. But remember like the fantasy life of him and Sally as like famous actors or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I wish that's the direction the show went.
For them to be successful actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Also, going back to like listening to what Bill Hader says, he's like, look, this is what reality would be like for them. It would suck, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, if that's what you're going off of, then why is Barry's ending that he's a hero?
True.
Like, we could have just had more fun in the show, and they could have just gotten to be really famous and whatever.
Right.
Like, it just went so south from where it was. Like, it completely abandoned the whole act. The premise of the show is supposed to be a hitman wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
And then it just turned into, like, the Janice Moss murder mystery. This last season, like, they left everything other than just, like, no, we're still talking about this one thing from the first season.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be
whatever.
like that connects to everything, but he did
the cops
like
stopped
you said.
being characters and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it just it didn't.
Oh yeah, was the FBI and other than on the news or Jim Moss in any capacity, they weren't really involved in this last 2 episodes at all.
Like the last 4, ever since the time jump. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It threw everything out of whack from what was actually going on.
That jump at the end, not just this episode, but that first jump, I was so like off kilter with like everybody's. Like
you were on for that episode. You were like, I didn't even realize that was for real.
It was, it seemed dreamscapey from the get-go, and I was like, this will bounce back to the current timeline, because I just don't, that wouldn't have happened. I just couldn't buy it. Nobody could get away in the continental United States with that many murders and just disappear to some desert place. It's just like, that's not real. Even
it's been 8 years.
It's just
8 years went by casually.
Maybe
and
like
now
you said,
all of a sudden, again,
6 to 8 months, maybe.
And here, why would it take 8 years for them to make a movie about it?
That too.
That story that's really small.
Right. Like
it wouldn't. They wouldn't have waited 8 years. It would have like started development within like 8 months.
8 months, exactly. 6 to 8 months would have made sense for that first jump.
Then it could have like stalled out, blah blah blah. Like maybe it takes 2 years to go into production or something
to fill that gap. Because I guess like with everything that happened,
8 years, nobody
of that,
even fucking knows what that is anymore. That's such a non-story in the grand scheme of like America.
Yeah,
that they're gonna wait 8 years to make a movie about that,
especially for like a straight to DVD film too.
Right?
Like, that's like silly to think about. Maybe the movie came out
like that's
sooner.
The thing.
That's
if it's like right.
Yeah, but if the first jump was 6 to 8 months, that second jump would have been less funny and more like it would have been able to keep the serious tone because it's funny in the sense that it's this not good movie, and the kid like.
You're really upset about that part, clearly.
Yeah, I just don't like because that's where we ended, and I was like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, who cares about this kid? That's a new character
the kid in the first place. To be honest,
I
don't think that did anything.
This kid has had like 6 lines.
Yeah.
Before,
and now it's a different actor. And
right?
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, who cares what happened to him?
Right, he's clearly fine because his mom let him go out. Like whatever.
Yeah, it didn't resolve anything with Sally at all.
Nope.
She just rejects some random guy. We have no context for that.
Something super like dramatic, like cut back to her at home by herself would have been better than like ending on the kid. Like that's also what I'm saying. Like
this kid.
You just said no to a date to this fairly good-looking teacher. Clearly, maybe he's
who cares
a creep.
About that?
I'd rather have known that. To keep the show a little bit more present in that time, in that jump forward, than just ending on the kid like cry smiling. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting the movie made, I get was important and the last season, but it wasn't important in the grand scheme of the show, in my opinion. Like, I just think like that they landed on that too hard because it wasn't even that fun of a movie.
Well, the thing is, like, the callback that would have been great would be like if her rival played Sally, that Darcy or whatever.
True.
Or you know what I mean? If it was some kind of callback to something.
With the actors, yes, exactly. Like even the guy that like told Henry Winkler that he was like he got slapped in the face. Like even if we saw a little like callback for that, I would have been like, oh my god, haha, like that was good. What a great little thing for this shitty ending.
Yeah.
That kid is that like some kid from Stranger Things too? Like
that kid looked familiar. I've definitely seen him in some stuff.
Yeah,
he's
some
pretty
alien
good.
Thing.
He's pretty good.
It's nothing on you, dude. Just saying.
Yeah, a really bold
good
choice
performance.
To be like, okay, it's the 4th episode of the 4th season. There's all of a sudden a kid. He will speak 3 times. And then in the last episode, we will replace him, and he will be the most important character in the show.
Very odd.
There's no Fuchs character in the movie even. They kind of showed a Hank-like character for half a second. That was kind of funny.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, well...
Yeah, there was no Raven. That's true. I don't remember seeing the Raven.
Like, if anything, really draw that part out and make that show me 5 minutes of that movie. Really.
True.
Really, like, you know what I mean? There was just no reason to be invested in that at all.
It was like we watched a trailer and the kid got upset at the trailer, basically.
But it's like, was he even upset? Do I care?
Right.
Why do I care what this... I don't give a fuck.
So the messaging was all like...
It's like,
your parents will fuck you up. Like,
why would it be a big thing for him to watch that movie if he lived it?
And also, if you really like...
I don't get it at all. Even if the whole thing is like, I know my dad for real because of what my mom told me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to watch this to see him glorified. Like, that's the controversy, maybe. But either way, it's just like...
Yeah.
It wouldn't affect him either way. He already knows what's happening on that movie.
Right.
He lived it and was aware. They made him old enough
to have the awareness.
He was 8 years old.
And being able to
They made that clear.
Yes.
He was old enough that he would remember something, you know? And his mom would have told him something, clearly, because they fixed their relationship, clearly, is what they're trying to show.
Right.
So there was an open communication from that point forward.
I would have... This is going to...
Couldn't tie the loose ends together, Bill. I'm sorry.
This is profound, but if they even, like... fucking made him a little older even. Like, if he was like a
18
teenager,
about to go into the army?
Exactly. Like, I would have felt that more than this rando. You know, like, I didn't think that he didn't memorialize his father in the first place.
Or, here's another one, okay? He says, Mom, I'm going to go hang out with whoever. And she just goes, yeah, I don't care. Which is what happened. He said, I love you. And she's like, was the play good? So it's
true.
It's like, oh, that's the reveal that she still sucks. Cool, I guess. Like, why? Again, like, that's a fitting ending for her. Sure, to tell her kid she doesn't love him. And then here would be a better move, though. It's the same setup. It's a dark room. You can't really see what's going on. You see just the kid, and he's like, all right. He just goes like, it's finally time. Blah blah blah. He puts in the tape, DVD, whatever. It starts. And then a hand is on his shoulder, and it's tatted. And you realize he's at Fuchs's house, not his friend's house. And he's like, it's finally time for you to know the truth, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it like, oh, now he's going to manipulate the kid.
Right. That would have been fucking awesome.
Boom. Now we've brought it full circle.
Yup. And with all this good writing throughout the whole show, that's why this one falls fucking flat. Is because there wasn't anything like that. You know, you're just at your friend's house. Like, what?
Yeah. Characters we don't know.
File name MC. What does that stand for?
It was the title of the movie. I figured that out. He was just like talking to Siri or whatever.
What's MC? The acronym for MC. What is the name of the movie?
I don't remember.
Mission something?
Yeah, it was dumb. It was a bad title. It wouldn't have been what they would have called it.
Okay. Maybe it's there somewhere. I don't know. Fucking that would be fucking awesome. I would have loved that, you know.
At least it's like, hey, we get some kind of closure with something.
Yeah.
'Cause what? So the kid's fine? So Barry technically was a good dad? Or are we saying that Sally's was all of a sudden just a great mom and Barry sucked? Like, what's the point?
I gotta say, if the kid was 8-9 years old, they had time to fix him, I think.
Or not. Or it's completely unreasonable that he would be that well adjusted.
Right. A lot of trauma, you know, having parents for hitmen for parents.
Either way, I don't know. Like we said, I mean, there's a bunch of excuses you could make to make what they did fine.
Sally Reed is gorgeous.
Like, oh, they went through trauma, so any result we decided can be okay. It's like, sure. It's just not in line with how these people would have responded previously.
Sally Reed is gorgeous, and she made a hot teacher, so that was fun, you know.
Yeah.
Love
but
those
again,
frames.
She was... Like, that's some big resolution. There was already the jump, and she was an acting teacher.
Yeah.
Like, we already did this, so now it's just at a high school. Okay.
In Fargo. That's why she got the job, is because it was back in her hometown. You know, she was famous or whatever. Not Fargo.
Yeah, wherever.
What was
Joplin?
it called? Joplin, Missouri.
Is that where they were?
I think it's supposed to be.
Because there was a lot of snow.
It snows in Missouri.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not like that.
True.
Not like
Maybe
here.
it wasn't. Maybe it was somewhere.
That was northern snow. That was like Chicago type snow.
Okay. I was under the impression it was somewhere in Missouri again. Like that's.
I mean, maybe.
Or no, I didn't actually make that assumption right away, but
I don't
to
think
the
it
point
matters.
of how she got the job,
Yeah, that does make sense.
Maybe
they were alluded to it too. I don't know.
Also, yeah, that was weird. So,
yeah, just very unsatisfying.
Like I'm saying though, I mean, also we can talk shit about it, but I am glad it's over. I'm glad they didn't keep it going, and I did like it.
You know what's funny is that I
generally.
saw an article that was like Larry David said to Bill Hader, like, you should have just ended it. The show's over. That was great.
I saw that.
And then he's like, no, there's another season. And Larry David's like, why? It's over. And Larry David, shockingly, was right.
Is right. Yeah.
Oh, he's only like the greatest genius in comedic television writing history. What would he know, Bill Hader? You're right. You got it, Bill Hader. Don't listen to Larry David. You only have a ton of people from Seinfeld, like Alec Berg, who does Curb also, and you know, you only have like a bunch of his guys on your staff.
It was more like I mean, they got him. It's over, right? That's it. You know, and that makes sense.
It would have been a more fitting
ending. It really
ending.
did.
Remember
make
the impact of the end of season 3? It was like, holy fuck!
Yes.
I can't believe they did that.
Yep.
And then they did this.
For him to get recaught,
exactly
bonkers.
Why?
Know?
We're just doing it again.
That was.
Hey, here's season 3
even before. That was even before the dry episode. You know that huge drama one is him getting caught again, and it's just like
the exact same way too.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, yeah. Especially hearing all the talk of like, well, we cut all the fat out. We're like, let's just go straight to it. Let's just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow, that's really smart. That's really creative. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, let's not do any of that anymore.
They were like, we're going to cut the fat out, and they're just going to keep reliving this shitty experience.
Yeah, really silly and unnecessary.
Until Barry dies, they're just going to keep, it's going to be him getting caught.
And here's the thing.
all the time.
It's like.
And getting dumber.
A lot of the praise has been like how much more Bill Hader's been involved too. He's like, he directed every episode. He like had more writing credit than you. Like he had a writing credit in every episode too, I think.
Yeah.
Like this was the most hands-on I think Bill Hader was the whole time.
Too fast, Bill.
And look, the direction was still pretty good, but it's like, man, yeah. Where was all this like cinematic referencey stuff?
That was the
ending?
last point that I was gonna make, is that cinematically this episode really wasn't that good. You know, the grenade, the guts.
That was funny.
Up until I
like that
even him disappearing
like,
into the darkness.
Showdown, and then it was like they're just gonna shoot each other. Really
that was
quick.
Awesome. Really good.
That's the funny reveal. I don't know. I thought it was still cinematic.
I think for like half of it was not. It wasn't my favorite. Or actually, okay, so that is what made this episode like super fun, and I think it was a great finale on the aspect like fun shots. But the rest of the season, I don't think was as good as the other seasons.
No.
You know what I mean? Like cinematically, it was dry for most of the season. The other 3,
a lot more still shots.
Yes.
Close-ups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like
different.
It was good to hold. I'm glad we held a lot of stuff, but like I just think I don't know, it wasn't like as visually fun. That's it, really. Like that whole shootout, I loved how still that was. That grenade going off, that was awesome. Like super fun. And then him, like I get why it was just like Fuchs is just gonna disappear. Like that immediately I thought that. I was like, oh, he's like gonna be a bad guy forever now, you know?
You know what would have been good to help with when he gets killed? Is if like when he rolls up to the building, he just sees John, his kid, and he's just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that
and then he does
fun.
it, and then he does it again when Cousineau shoots him.
Yeah, 3 times round that would have been fun.
Make it a callback.
Yes,
like,
yes. That's like
because it was the fact that it was so easy to get his kid back, and there was no joke there.
Yeah,
easiest place to put a joke.
Right.
Cool. They had a little nod. Again, I have never cared about their relationship.
Yeah.
it's been bad. I've wanted Barry to kill him, Fuchs, the whole time.
The pan out though,
so
after he gets shot, where it's just Henry in the center, I was like, "That's it. That was beautiful. Like, very well done." It cut to the applause. I was actually clapping like before the applause started. I was like, "It's done. He's dead. That's it." You know, I was like pretty thrilled at that shot. I think that was fun in the context where like, what the fuck is going on? Because I was still like, what the fuck is going on? But that was good. I'm glad that we did it that way. Specifically, his death. I think that was fun, you know.
It was stupid.
We
just talked about how it was stupid.
It was stupid but fun, you know. There can be stupid fun, you know. I feel like that made Bill Hader laugh. He's like, ha ha ha, I'm dead now. Look at this really nice, you know, pan out. That was good.
The shot
visually.
Was good, sure.
That's what I mean, just visually.
But I don't care if the shot's good when the fucking content is horrible. Who gives a fuck?
I do.
It was fucking stupid.
I don't think it matters. In the context of the visuals, but I get it. I get what you're saying. So I just hope you get what I'm saying.
It's like, cool, good shot, horrible writing, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I still love that show, but
yep.
I was worried going in, and I was right.
Yep,
right to be worried. Too many weeks in a row of like, this isn't going the right way. This isn't going the right way.
Yeah.
But we did it. Look, Succession, true masterpiece.
Fucking 10 out of 10.
Barry, false masterpiece.
6 out of 10.
Honestly, brings down the whole show overall. That was, listen, I'm not making a direct comparison when I say this, but that was a Dexter-esque way to end that show.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole season, even.
Yeah.
The ending, not nearly as like egregious. Dexter, the most egregious ending in probably television history, but that show did the same thing where the whole last 2 seasons, frankly, the decline in quality was astronomical. The characters don't act the same, like all the same type of shit. That all happened there too. It just went 2 seasons too long. This went 1 season too long.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because they're 8 episode, 30 minutes.
It's real.
This was effectively a British TV show. Which Succession technically was too, but it made it longer a little bit.
Fucking amazing. I'm glad it's, you know.
Yeah, they knew their purpose.
We don't want more Barry.
And here's the thing. Succession wasn't mapped out. Like, it wasn't like we know where we're writing towards.
Mm-hmm.
And not that Breaking Bad didn't really either. Eventually they did. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there was never a, like, here's an end point for even a season. We're going to get there. I'm pretty sure they just, like, flowed whole way towards it. And just beautiful stuff. The most well-shot show probably ever.
Yeah.
Probably ever. I mean, the camera work on Succession is ungodly. They shoot on film.
Amazing.
And they just roll scenes.
I love it.
And they just circle people and
love that pace.
Yeah.
It does me favors, you know.
It's beautiful.
I just feel so
magnificent.
Oh. Loud. I play that shit loud.
Yeah.
It sounds
It's one of the only shows where I don't hit skip intro. I want to hear that theme music.
Yeah. Every time, like, well, it's the last episode. We're not skipping shit, right?
Correct.
Like,
I'm going to ride this all
out.
Yeah.
And just because they always play back into that same tone or tune every time,
yeah,
it's fun.
Subtly rechanged every
time.
Just a perfect show.
A little upbeat score for this episode too. I was like, "Ooh, damn, yeah, this feels like an ending." I was like, "This is nice."
Yeah, and very Shakespearean, which they never hid, and it felt like it, and a lot of like Godfather stuff.
Yeah,
going on, just epic, just a lot of epicness. And, man, I love it. Hopefully I win the lottery, and then I can relate a little bit to some of this stuff. I'm going to play. Powerball's getting up there, fellas.
All right, well, we'll be hanging out with Kieran Culkin and his veiny dick forehead.
Yeah. So that's that.
I was going to say a couple more things.
Go ahead.
I don't really...
Run it.
No, nothing. I don't know. What's next, you know? Oh, Paddington. Paddington's next, bitches.
Paddington 2. Dungeons and Dragons is in the cards. That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Pretty good movie. Fun surprise cameo.
Word.
Can't spoil it.
Probably, I want to say Chappelle.
No. No. Certainly not. What else is in the cards?
Jack Black. Is it Jack Black?
No, that'd be too easy, I think, actually.
Word.
The comedian.
Dungeons and Dragons.
The comedian. We gotta talk about
is that Scorsese? No.
No, it's De Niro.
That's what yeah.
It's like a weird half Woody Allen-ish movie. He's not actually involved. But
Okay.
It's like a Woody Allen style movie.
Cool. I like that.
It's interesting.
I'm rewatching
It's discussable.
Breaking Bad.
Phenomenal.
I've never. I've
watched
to rewatch
that through
it once.
like 3 times.
Yeah, I'm doing that again. And
Well, have you done Better Call Saul ever?
I'm doing that, and then I'm doing Better Call Saul.
Okay,
You
it's
know.
all finally out on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't watched. I've watched a few episodes, but not a lot.
Better Call Saul, I think overall is a better show.
Cool.
Which is unbelievable to say.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about a show that also nailed an ending and stayed consistent, and boy, that last season was riveting. The last 3 seasons of that show are unbelievably great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that show's awesome.
Yeah, Hannah highly recommends it. So
Love Better Call Saul.
I never want to tune in because she was watching it, in the later seasons, and I just think like,
oh, you'll get some. There's some spoilers.
Juicies. Yeah, I don't. Stay in the room.
Devastating. Absolutely devastating show.
Word.
It is
Fun. I love that.
Yeah, really good. Really good. All right, so sorry to Bill Hader. I still love you, but just being honest.
Good.
Just being honest.
Nope. It's just
He would hate us.
Yeah, for sure.
He'd be so mad listening to us talk about it.
Hater would hate us. That's fine.
It's true.
That's fine.
It is fine.
Yeah, because he's
because when I make Co-Pilots, also on HBO,
I'm
gonna fucking stick the landing on the ending, and I'm gonna rub it in his face.
You're gonna find him
because
be like, hey,
I already have 3 potential endings planned out.
Word.
Because I think about these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that you don't, Bill, but
now you really ain't gonna like it.
Yeah. Hey, he's more talented than me. I can't do impressions.
Yeah, that's true. I've
So,
never even
I'm also
seen
not-
you try an impression.
I'm not tall.
Yep. He's a lanky guy.
I'm not thin. I'm bald. So you
You're
know what?
Not bald.
You know what, Bill Hader? See, I'm sick of everybody saying that. If when you grow your hair long and you put your head down, there's a big hole in your fucking hair, then you're bald. That's what that is. Yeah, I don't want it to look like the map of a hurricane on the back of my head. That means I'm bald. If there's not hair there, then I'm bald. Like, I don't need kisses. I can look in a mirror. It's not.
In my head, there's
I'm not
still
like
hair up there.
Like literally, sure.
Yes.
But that's. Do you think people go literally bald where their head is clean? Or do you think that all those people shave their head? You don't just lose every hair on your head unless you have like alopecia.
Right. And no, I think that they do shave it.
Have you seen my dad? Would you consider him to have a full head of hair, or would you call him bald?
I haven't seen his hair
He's
in
bald.
like 5 years, so
It looks worse.
It's 3. Maybe 3 or 4.
It looks worse. The point is, you can have literal hair on your head. It doesn't make you not bald.
I still have the hairs on my head, but I think I might go bald one day, so that's why I'm scared of using the word bald, and I just say
it's gonna happen.
Balding,
It's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I'm balding still right now. You wouldn't call it officially bald either way, I suppose, but it's gonna be. So I'm shaving it now. That's what I started making self-appointments once a month, shaving the head.
Word. That's
Forever
a good look.
now.
I think it's a good look.
Because if I let it go too long, there's those moments where I have to like look in the mirror and like fix a comb over. It's like, well, what am I doing, man?
Not fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 28.
Yeah.
So what? I'm going to start now, and then I'm going to be doing this till I'm 60, and I'm going to look like a dumb fuck with 3 strands of hair combed over and full delusion in the mirror. There's no way. So just cut the cord,
Adam says, shave your head.
Yeah, you got to just commit to it. Some fucking cunt DM'd me, and she's like, it's because you're fat and you eat poorly. And it's like, well...
Whoa!
And it's like, well, that accelerated it for sure, like, I guess, but I was happening either way. My father, my grandfather, my mother's father, you know what I mean?
They're all bald.
Everybody in my entire extended family is bald. Like, all of my uncles, all of my cousins are going bald now that are hitting that age. Like, so, you know, it was ignorant and rude, and that's why I'm calling you a cunt right here. You know who you are.
You heard it first, folks. If you DM with some fat comments, you're going to get called a cunt on the show.
No, that's not true. I'm self-aware.
Oh.
But that was unwarranted. I wasn't like... here's a selfie of me shirtless. Don't I look great?
Yeah.
And somebody's like, no, you look like a blob. I was just like, I'm committing to being bald.
Yes.
And it was like...
This is why you're bald?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That is unwarranted.
It's like, because you're a fat loser. I was like,
That's awful.
I was like, well, yeah.
Well, fuck them. You know?
It's fine. She's traumatized and she...
A word.
Yeah.
Got it.
She's got a lot of problems. She's not aware of it.
Right.
But she's got a lot of problems.
Got it.
She reads, like... obscure news websites and thinks that she has real information that nobody else has and thinks that everybody's like a sheep for like following a narrative, but it's like you're just reading some random person's thing on some website. It doesn't make you informed. Anyway, we all know those type of people.
We're all sheeple. It's fine.
Yeah.
Drink the punch.
Yeah.
It's great in
those
here.
chemtrails are really working out, aren't they?
Yeah, I've been breathing them for years.
Remember when you warned everybody about all those, you dumb cunt? Anyway...
no, that's different. You're talking about 400 parts per million.
Huh? No, I'm still talking to the person.
Got it.
You're getting defensive right now about something else. But no. You remember when chemtrails were a thing? People thought?
For sure.
And it's like, yeah, that's not what that is.
There are constant fumes entering our atmosphere, but it's the chemtrails. Those are just like regular things from planes.
Correct.
That aren't doing anything.
That we all were aware of the whole time.
Right. We've seen them forever. That's not a new thing.
Correct.
I remember it coming up.
You know what? While we have this going, you know what drives me up the fucking wall that's been happening a lot lately is these fucking TikToks of people, quote unquote, like discovering all these secret things.
What are the secret things?
Okay, for example, there's a Mexican restaurant a few blocks from here. They just like have brunch. It's sick.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good Mexican restaurant. This is a heavily Mexican neighborhood. It's like the 4th best Mexican restaurant in the neighborhood, blown up on TikTok because somebody found it. It's a hidden gem. It's like, no. It's just a Mexican restaurant in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and you got targeted this for sure, too.
Yes, well, that's true because it's in the area
in the first place. But if you already knew about it,
well, of course I knew about it. But that's the thing; it's not hidden. It's just like it's on the street.
Just a place.
It's right there. Yeah, it's just a restaurant. And the thing is like it's good, but now it's packed every goddamn night. So if I ever want to go, I can't go. But the thing is,
bullshit.
Like, the thing is, like,
well, good for them.
So if somebody, correct,
yeah,
but
it's
the
fine,
thing is, like, if somebody goes to one of the other places that's better, is that also a hidden gem, or are you just around Mexicans now?
You know what's a hidden gem?
You know what I'm saying?
This fucking show.
Like that's what correct. That's what bothers me about it. Is like I went to where the Mexicans are, so now I found hidden gems. It's like no, this is just where they live. So that's where the restaurants are.
Right.
You know, it's like if you go to Pilsen, is every place a hidden gem, or have you just not been to Pilsen? You know what I'm saying? Here's another example. I saw a thing about a secret bar in White Sox Stadium. The right field bar that's been there like since they built it, that you can see from the seats, that is advertised to go to. It's not a secret. And it's like, look at this. You just go, ooh, there's a sneaky way in. There's not a sneaky way in. You just go down the stairs. Like it's a tunnel because it's under the thing. It's a dugout. You know? It's like you didn't discover a thing. That's what's annoying. These fucking, what's the term? These fucking millennial colonizers.
Yeah. Okay, so
colonizing my city, telling me what's hidden and what's new. It's been there.
There's something
There's
really
not a secret.
There's something really to your defense. There's something really condescending about saying that something has been hidden or is secret the entire time.
Yeah, no, you just found it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I really never. I hate playing in. I never play into those, but I also hate seeing them because I don't think it should be a secret too. This is a business. Share it. Stop saying it was hidden. It's been open before you got there.
Correct.
And as also on my defense,
I am anointing this place as a place to go now.
It's not cool.
I'm some person.
You can say I personally found them, but don't use that verbiage. Say this is a good place to eat. That's it. You know, it's not fucking hidden. To my defense too, this is a $10 million or 10 million view person, okay, on Google Maps, okay? I am a pro level reviewer, and I never say that anything is a hidden gem on any of my reviews for fucking 10 years because it shouldn't be a secret. That's why we're sharing it.
Yeah, if it is truly a hidden gem, that would mean that like nobody really knows about it. They're like, hey, we're struggling in here.
Or it's in the middle of nowhere, bro. You're in Chicago. There's nothing hidden about it. It shouldn't be hidden.
It's just a big place, and you haven't been everywhere.
Yes.
Right.
Even if it's brand new, it's still not. They're not trying to hide from you.
Correct. Right. And you're not this spotlight of culture.
No.
It's different.
It's white people
like,
shit.
It is, and it drives me up the fucking wall. Like
it's rude.
You don't get to take credit. They make all the food. All you did was take a video of you going to a place
with your shitty iPhone.
You know, it's like Anthony Bourdain wasn't like, "Look at me, I'm telling all of you what is what." You know, he was trying to learn and experience.
I think as like for him to be that reference too is appropriate because he set the tone for like food shows afterwards, and people did run with the idea of like, I'm going to go to the corners of the world where you haven't seen before. But when he went, he was just like, I'm trying to hang out, you know.
Yeah, he's like, show me what's up.
Better. That is how I want to feel about food television.
Anthony Bourdain is a true artist and one of one in that realm, so
Correct.
that will never happen again. It can't.
That's
nobody
why
will ever make a food show artistically ever again.
Right.
And that's fine. We have the old ones to watch forever, and that's great. But
now on Max,
even like WGN going to places, the idea is that you're like promoting a business, not like, look at how cool I am that I found some shit you want to do. It's all in the presentation that fucks me up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So here's some hidden gems that you can find in. Anyway, no.
Yeah.
No.
And then they're like, the planetarium. And it's like, go fuck yourself. Like, that's not a thing. That's a fucking institution. You didn't find it.
Something super sick about my neighborhood in Bucktown, which is a very white place. I'm not flexing on it.
You shouldn't.
But
be.
So we only have like
didn't used to be a very white place, by the way.
We have like fucking Big Star as our like any taco place, but this place just opened up. I sent it to you. Yeah, Del Carmen, dude. It's the new spot. I hope it becomes an institution. This is me saying I'm not trying to hide it.
It's the only not white tacos around. Is that what you're saying?
For sure. There is Taqueria Chingon, but I'm not.
Those are white tacos. They cost $7.
I mean, like people do. That's true. They're too expensive. Do these tacos at this new spot? Fucking $3, dude. It's amazing.
As it should be.
Also, I had this taco at the Moonlighter.
They have birria?
Yes, but they were sold out. They were sold out. We went at like 7 o'clock on a Friday night.
Sure,
and they were already out.
There's this place on Fullerton, man. The birria. Ooh.
I don't often get that, but I'm going to have to. I feel like it's all the rage right now.
It is. That's part of the problem is that it's on trend, so it does sell out.
Yeah,
Same thing. Fucking TikTok ruins everything.
The other dinner entree items at this place is that and then chilaquiles, which is
nice.
an awesome like placement for your entrees. Like that's it. You can get a regular one, you can get one with egg, and then one with steak and egg. And it's like that's a great. I love those options. We got. Oh wait, so sorry. You can do the one more is just with steak, no egg.
Got it.
That's what we got that night. We also got fajitas. That is actually one of the other entree item. But like, dude, like the chilaquiles fucking rip. So saucy and spicy. I couldn't eat like barely any of them because I'm a little spice bitch.
You're a little white boy.
Yeah. But for that green salsa to have that great spice, I feel like that's like indicator this will be the next Mexican institution in Bucktown.
Well, there aren't really. I mean, there's some good Mexican spots in Bucktown. You got to move a little bit. No, there aren't.
There aren't.
They closed.
Yes. Just to my knowledge.
Well, I don't know.
We have a Cuban spot.
This is what I'm saying.
And then we have this really large restaurant, but I'm not a big fan of that large restaurant spot. When I have had it, it is a 24-hour spot, so it's convenient in the middle of the night, or it was 24 hours when I was going before the pandemic. I think actually they cut back their hours. Regardless, the other spot is like a Cuban spot, and then like some other white people shit. You know, like that's
Cuban isn't white people.
No,
shit.
not the Cuban.
I get it.
There's another one.
I get it. I get it.
And I haven't been in that Cuban spot yet. I've been really meaning to get some sandwiches from
Oh,
there.
man, we have this place, El Cubanito on Pulaski. Oh, boy, you'll come.
That sounds delicious.
It's so good.
That's what I want right now on this afternoon.
We're going to grill, I thought.
I know, but that's still what I want.
All right, we got to get this moving. We're going on 90 minutes
What a
here.
good exit strategy.
Well,
MicrowaveMinutes.com, people.
I'd been meaning to get that off my chest because it's been driving me insane.
Yeah.
This fucking fake
I hope that the moderator
travel agent bullshit.
Stop giving him hidden gem videos, for fuck's sake.
I mean, dude, it's like
every other.
They're like, oh, look at this. Calumet Fisheries on 95th Street, a hidden gem. Nobody's ever heard of it before. It's like, go fuck yourself. You just went there. That's all that is.
That you could do that for like dive bars.
It's like, oh, I went, look at this hidden gem, the Leaning Tower of Niles. It's like, no, people, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like.
Everybody knows about that.
Or even if they don't, it's like, so what? People should go there for what? They shouldn't. That's the thing. It's in the parking lot of a YMCA. It sucks. It's kind of cool if you happen to be in the area.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. It's not the point. Point is just like, you can just Google shit and find shit. It's not like read a map.
Check out my Google Maps.
Check out Justice on Google Maps. I'm sweating so much. All right.
Let's do it.
Rate, review, subscribe. Please actually do it. It would really help me out a lot.
Let's go to the beach. Beach
day.
Happy holiday. Is it a holiday?
Yeah, Memorial Day. I want to take this time to memorialize the first 3 seasons of Barry and not the 4th. Rate, review, subscribe, and remember, I are fat, you are fat, we are fat. Calculator.